persons should recall that the ENDS program was a joint effort between the Government of Jamaica and indeed the private sector organization of Jamaica in creating a system that would allow the delivery economy to flourish during COVID lockdowns. Supermarkets took advantage of it, pharmacies took advantage of it, many restaurants took advantage of it, and I think the program went relatively well.
How viable was the program when it was implemented, and does it still serve the same purpose?
So it doesn't serve the same purpose, no. ENDS was a short-term solution to a particular issue, but has created particular opportunities, both for the private sector players and indeed for the government. ENDS was an approval platform that allowed businesses to apply and then functioned as a directory. ENDS wasn't a business, it didn't process any transactions, so I wouldn't have the information from a KFC or a Burger King or a Popeyes or a Wendy's or a Domino's in terms of what their sales were like. What I do know is that over 6,000 people were able to work when they wouldn't have been able to work during lockdown hours because of the program. In my conversations with businesses that participated, it kept some of them home. Some would have closed if, with prolonged lockdowns without any operation. So I think you'd have to give it a passing grade.
What is the registration process and what are the eligibility criteria?
So it depends on the category of business. For businesses, primarily we asked the municipalities to review their trade licenses to make sure that what they had was compliant. So if you were to have food handlers, if you were to have business operating licenses, they had those. So municipalities would have reviewed for the fixed site businesses. In essence, persons would upload their documents through the platform, and then persons at the relevant agencies that could verify that these documents were actually correct. And then they would have received their approvals digitally. These approvals were automatically forwarded to the respective police divisions so that the police themselves knew who was supposed to be on the road.
And how do you go about renewing these applications?
Well, it's no longer relevant, right? If you recall that we put this in place to facilitate moving around while there were curfew restrictions, there are no curfew restrictions now, so there would be no need for the program. What the program has, however, done is shown the viability for that the delivery economy does offer to a number of players. It's a huge opportunity for them to grow. If we're to look at any other delivery companies that have popped up or grown significantly since, I think this would have been a watershed moment for them.
What are the requirements you use for the delivery drivers?
That they have appropriate road licenses. So there's a license category for delivery vehicles and delivery bikes. Those who didn't have the appropriate licenses, etc., Transport Authority did meet them even in the field. So there were sign-up sessions in Montego Bay, in Portmore, that made it easier for those who wish to participate to be properly licensed and paid up.
Okay, how can you go about ordering now with the ENDS program?
Well, the ENDS program doesn't exist now.
Oh.
Right? The ENDS program was for a particular period to facilitate the delivery economy in flourishing while during challenging times. What I would recommend is I recommend you use any other businesses that would have participated, whether the Hugos, the Seven Craves, and I mean there were dozens of delivery companies who all have their own internet footprint. I recommend Jamaicans take advantage of the services.
ENDS program started a trend where basically you're locked down, you can get your meal delivery safe, even from the little jerk man.
Right.
Now that COVID is down, the program has ended, persons still use delivery. Do you think it's something that the government could consider in making it like registering a program then, just like something like ENDS, but overall a program nationwide that would allow persons to continue staying home if you want to and still get your thing delivered from registered
but
riders?
That exists now, right? There are several businesses that offer the service. Even some of the jerkmen that were on the program have set up their own web interfaces and are doing delivery. I think the government showed entrepreneurs an opportunity. I don't necessarily believe the government has to be involved in every industry in that sort of way. We regulate the industry from the regulation of how the road is accessed by vehicles. We regulate the businesses themselves through their trade licenses and their food handlers permits, etc. I don't necessarily believe that we have to be involved beyond that. Allowing entrepreneurs to grow, allow them the space to be creative, and I think this is what this program did for them.